Dairy Comics here, and today is a day that we finally are going to start on that series that I've been talking about. My Let's Talk About series. So basically, if you are new here, and if you did not vote for this topic, and if this is your first time on the channel, for one, this series will basically be called Let's Talk About X, Y, and Z. What is X, Y, and Z? It is my OCs. So it was actually a voted on series that I had viewers and subscribers and such, and people choose what series I should talk about and what I should do on this channel. And the Let's Talk About won by a mile. So basically, it's just, like I said, a series where I can talk about my OCs, dedicate a whole video to each one of my OCs, and such like that, and kind of just yap about them, introduce you guys to them, and you can choose your favorite ones along the lines. What's the release schedule of this? I'm not too sure. I think it's kind of like whenever I want to, which doesn't sound promising, but I promise I have a lot of free time on weeks and stuff like that right now, so these videos will be coming out a little bit quicker. It's just a matter, I think the only thing about, like, when it comes to me making videos, the only thing is just the matter of me drawing and recording it. Typically, like, that's the only thing. But I will be working on the next video actually today. So I'm going to possibly try and release that maybe next weekend or so. I do have a Valentine's Day speed paint that I do want to release on Valentine's Day on a release schedule and such like that. But yeah, alrighty. So, real quick, what is going on in the background? So basically, I am drawing the character that we are talking about today, in favor of Black History Month, and also the fact that the only reason I kind of got this idea was because I took down my braids not too long ago. For those who do not know, I am a Black woman. I am a Black artist, and typically most of my characters are all as well African American characters. And I have been lately wanting to do more things to highlight their blackness, I would say, into my art. I've been trying to, like, give them a little bit more, because in the past I've really only given my character straight hair, which obviously Black women can't have straight hair. I mean, silk presses and wigs exist, but obviously, like, I was like, oh, well, like, I want more of my characters to have froze and such like that. Froze is, like, the easiest route to go when it comes to illustration. As you can see, I am taking a hot minute on these braids, and I am telling you right now, I do not like to draw braids. That's why most of my characters don't have braids. So, yeah. Braids, depending on your art in general, are just kind of extremely difficult to draw. I wasn't even doing super detailed braids. I was doing, like, little, like, oval beans, like, connected together to look like box braids. But yeah, no. It wasn't that difficult. It was just a repetitive movement over and over again, many times, and so my wrist was getting tired of it. Normally my wrist is very trained to, me drawing for long periods of time, but for some reason me doing that constant oval, just like my wrist just did not like that. Anyways, alrighty, so that's who we're drawing today, is the character that we are talking about in the video. And just to let you know, like I said, there will be more characters being covered in this series. There will be so many more. There will be guys, eventually. They are in my character book. I have an OC book. If you click on my card link below, you can actually view my OCs. Currently, at this time of this video, the rest of there's only 2 characters that have the designs actually in the book. Red and Sugar. The rest do not. They have their descriptions updated to them, but not their designs yet. I will be getting to that as soon as I can, but bear with me. Alrighty, so let's get into today's topic, which is sugar. So who is Sugar, you might wonder? Why is her name Sugar? What is going on? Alright, so let's go into how I came up with this character first and for all. So basically, Sugar was I was meaning to actually come up with a new character. Because for the longest time, I typically get rid of my characters. I don't like having too many OCs. Well, too many OCs I do not use. Let me correct myself. I only really make OCs and characters for projects, which I know some of you might be like, oh, I don't do that. But no, do not feel bad. I am a comics student. For those who do not know and are just now joining the channel, I am a comics major. I'm a comics student. I make comics. I love to make comics. And if I make a character and they do not serve any purpose other than looking cool and art that I draw, they do not serve any purpose in comics or anything like that. Or if they're a character from a past comic I wrote, and I don't plan on using them in the future, I typically just get rid of them. I am wanting to start giving them away. But I'm not exactly sure to figure that out. I'm gonna ask some friends that do OC giveaways. But I will start doing that eventually, giving away my OCs or selling my older OCs. But there are, I just get rid of them. I don't use them anymore because they don't serve any purpose to me. The current characters I have all serve a purpose. They all are going to be or are in a comic. They are going to be featured in future comics as well. Lately, I have been trying to make each and every character at least in some sort of universe to where they match together in the same universe, so I can keep them longer for as long as I want, so they can make cameos in each other's comics and such like that. For example, Sugar and Red and Dorothy are all in the same universe. JT and Blue are all in the same universe with Sugar, Red, and Dorothy. So they can make cameos of each other in their comics. They can, which helps me keep them longer. But they also have their own individual stories, as they are all individual characters. The only two characters that kind of blend, well, the only 4 that kind of blend into each other are Red and Blue and Dorothy and JT. Sugar kind of does her own thing, and that's what I like about her. So Sugar is just, I love her. I just recently made her, like I said, because I was trying to come up with new female characters and new woman characters to add into my roster, new characters to write a story about, because I had been lacking. I've had the same OCs for a hot minute after doing my my big purge of OCs. So I was like, I need a new one, and I came up with Sugar. The inspiration for Sugar straight up came from a Marilyn Monroe film titled Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Okay, so you might not be over the age of 70 or so you might not really have seen Marilyn Monroe films. Fun fact, like me and many other women in my family, I am a huge Marilyn Monroe fan. I love that woman. And I listen to the music for the films and such like that. My bathroom is Marilyn Monroe themed, as weird as that sounds. I know mostly everything about her life, and her life when she died. I mean, I know a little bit too much information about that woman. But the thing is, I never saw a single one of her films until recently. I have known everything about Marilyn Monroe since I was at least 13 years old, and I did not ever watch her movies. And I don't know why. There was no exact reason as to why. But, when I realized that, and I had that realization, I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to watch her most popular films. I'm going to look at a list of her most popular movies, and which are a lot. There are not very few. She has a lot of very popular films. She was a very popular actor back in the 50s to 60s. So I went ahead and wrote them all down, put them on my letterbox, and yes, I have a letterbox. I'm not a pretentious film bro, guys. I just like movies. And I went ahead and started watching them. So far, I had watched, How to Marry a Millionaire, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Bus Stop, Some Like It Hot. I watched another one, I forgot the name of it. I've watched at least 5 Marilyn Monroe films so far on that list. There are a couple more I need to watch. And the two that stood out the most to me were Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and Some Like It Hot. So, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, alright, amazing film. So, the character that Marilyn Monroe plays in the film. Okay, so Marilyn Monroe stars in the movie Gentlemen Prefer Blondes as the character Lorelei Lee. And she's basically just this beautiful girl. She's a showgirl, but she's also like, kind of like the dumb blonde stereotype, like the archetype. And this movie was, I would assume, honestly, based off, the dumb blonde like stereotype when it came to film and movies was started mainly by Marilyn Monroe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's where it was popularized because that's what she was mainly casted as, despite being a very, very smart young woman. And when it came to that movie, she played a very like kind of dumb blonde, a woman who was marrying a man for his money. And she plays throughout this role for going out and on like this boat. I forgot exactly why they were going on the boat, and she meets this really wealthy elderly man, and she like is all over him. She's all over him because he has diamonds, and it's a whole thing throughout the whole movie that she loves diamonds. And I'm like, okay, awesome. Like, I love this type of character. Most people would guarantee her to be insufferable. Most people I would meet probably be like, oh, I can't stand her. Oh, she's so materialistic. And I'm like, oh my god, she's so like me. Minus the gold digging part. I'm not a gold digger, guys. But I am a pretty materialistic kind of girl. I like nice things. I like luxury brands. I like purses. I like perfume. And I really, 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 really like nice jewelry. So I was like, oh, she's a lot like me in some ways. I kind of like that. So when I, the farther I got to the movie, one of the best quotes in the movie is when she meets, the man that she's going to marry. His name is Gus. When she meets his father disapproves entirely of their marriage because she's clearly marrying him for his money. But she straight up says, oh, I'm not marrying him for his money. I'm marrying him for your money. Quote from the movie. Absolutely fucking immaculate. And I was like, that's hilarious. I love that. And then when he's like, oh, it's like, is money all you're after? And she follows up with, genius, basically. She says, don't you know that a man being rich is like a girl being pretty? You wouldn't marry a girl just because she's pretty. But my goodness, doesn't it help? And there's more to that quote, but I'm going to highlight that one. That one part is very, very, very good. So basically, what am I getting at here? So this character, Lorelei Lee, is a girl who's a showgirl. She performs, but she also is marrying a pretty rich man. What's the whole kicker throughout the whole film? She's slightly a little bit of a dumb blonde, likes to use her brain when she wants to get what she wants, but also, she likes diamonds. So, played throughout the main song, which is the most famous song that everybody knows, even without watching a movie by her. I know, and also played out in Madonna's music video, Material Girl, but also the song is called Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. Highly recommend looking up a clip of the song or anything like that. It is a very, very iconic movie in general. The whole movie's iconic. The song is a very iconic moment. And obviously there are a lot of old standards in these movies when it comes to women and men and stuff like that. But I do highly recommend checking out Marilyn Monroe films. If you like film, if you want to get into watching this type of movies, I do highly recommend it. Some Like It Hot is probably the wokest you'll get in that whole movie because it's about two men that are cross-dressing and, things like that, and which was actually considered gasp at the time when I was looking it up. A lot of people walked out of the theater for that movie. There was also a whole joke about the guy, one of the men being gay, but it wasn't really a joke, but they tried to play it off as a joke, probably because of standards or things like that. I say woke, not bad woke, guys. Don't worry. I love. Anyways, so basically, what am I trying to get at here? So, Marilyn Monroe's character, Lorelei Lee. I already explained her to you. So, you're wondering, where does the inspiration for Sugar come from? A lot of it, actually the majority of Lorelei Lee, is basically Sugar. Now, where did I get Sugar's name? So, Sugar's name was actually based off of a character that Marilyn Monroe also plays in Some Like It Hot. In Some Like It Hot, she plays as a girl named Sugar. The character isn't very much so what I wanted Sugar to be, but Marilyn Monroe's Sugar is a pretty good character. I just really like the name. I didn't want her to be fully based off of Lorelei Lee. For one, I already have a character named Lorelei, and for two, I didn't want to obviously be a direct copy by me taking the name Lorelei Lee and then also the whole personality. So I wanted to also do my own spin. So I took another name of a character that Marilyn Monroe plays in a different film, Sugar, and I kind of took loosely the personality of Lorelei Lee and put it into my own character. So then came about my Sugar. So I will be putting a whole description on screen, but I will be reading off of it. So who is Sugar, to be exact? Sugar is 28 years old. Reason onto her age, I actually was wanting to make her a little bit older, but then I thought about the the trope in film, when it came to watching these movies. Anytime these women in the movies would be kind of gold diggers or anything of that sort, they were usually always younger, attractive women, and the men ended up being a little bit older. They weren't young, teenagers or anything, but they were at least women in their 20s, and early 30s, but nowhere near the age of the men that they were marrying. I think the only movie that I remember watching where Marilyn Monroe was kind of close to age to one of the men that she was, getting with somewhat, or seducing, was in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. And I mean, obviously she was talking to a very older man, and when I say older man, I mean at least maybe 60. But she gets with a younger man that's around her age. But typically, when I looked this up, it was actually very curious. It did say that it was just a thing where younger women typically would get with older men because they already had a set job. They already had money to provide to the women, especially at this time in the 50s and 60s, which is quite interesting and obviously not a norm anymore, thank God. But I wanted to play into that to make her a little bit, she is a older woman. She looks like she's at least in her little bit in her 20s. She looks younger, obviously, due to her being black. Black don't crack, guys. Come on. But she is a 28-year-old woman. She's about to be hitting her 30s. So I wanted to do that kind of in between age, where she her age still seems slightly appealing to the older men that are that are getting gold digged. I mean, basically her sugar daddies at this point. But they don't really know. She is a kind of character to manipulate whenever she wants, to get what she wants, because the men want one thing from her, and it's her body. So what does she want from them in exchange? She gets money and diamonds, mainly the diamonds. But she's not a sex worker or anything like that. She marries these men. She marries them for their diamonds. She is what I would say a diamond digger. So what's more about her? Her nickname is Diamond. So her nickname, very prevalent. I will not explain her nickname very much because it actually will be featured in a comic. Fun fact. I will get more into that later. But her backstory onto her nickname will be featured in a comic. Her pronouns are she, her. She is a straight woman. She is African American as well. She's a very traditional lady. She's very traditionally ladylike, and she's soft-spoken. She sits with her legs crossed, always wears pearls and diamonds. Kind of a stereotypical dumb blonde, and I didn't add this in here, but she uses her brain when she needs to and when she wants to. So she kind of just plays dumb for the shits and giggles, let's just say. She is a bit of a diamond digger, and just don't ask her how many times she's been married. And although she has fallen in love once, also playing into her nickname being featured in a comic later on. Sugar overall was a fun character. As a character, she is a little bit different from what I've made. I've never really made a hyper feminine girly character per se. All of my characters are very feminine, all of them. Even Dorothy. Dorothy is more so of quiet, she's nonchalant. She doesn't really say much. And then Red is the hyper one. She's kind of like Pinkie Pie in a way. She's energetic. She loves everybody. And then Sugar is more of a traditional archetype of a woman. What they would portray in the media in the 50s to 60s of what you would think of when you think of a trad woman. I mean, I guess so in a way, but also not fully, because she's a gold digger. I mean, she marries men for their diamonds. But yeah, like in her design in general, I wanted to portray her to be a little bit more cutesy and feminine. All of my characters, their outfits and their fashion is based off of name brands. As you can see also in the background in the speed paint, you'll probably see like Chanel logos and stuff like that, like everywhere in her room. All of my characters are actually linked to a brand that, depending on like the runway outfits, because all of my characters' designs are outfits per se. Their outfits are all based off of real life runway outfits from luxury brands. Except for the outfit that she's wearing in this video, in the speed paint, it's just a wing it type thing. But anytime I draw them full body with each other, things like that, they're always wearing real life luxury brand runway outfits, specifically either from the 90s, from nowadays, and 80s and before. So what is Sugar's? I'm going to highlight Sugar's mainly because that's who we're talking about today. Sugar's is obviously, you guessed it, Chanel. Chanel, for those who do not know, I'll do a little history. All right, Chanel is a French luxury fashion house founded in 1910. I like to keep it real, guys. My bloopers are always in the video. By Gabrielle Coco Chanel in Paris. Okay. And it specializes in haute couture, ready-to-wear handbags, fragrances, and accessories known for revolutionizing fashion with elegant, comfortable designs like the Chanel suit and the little black dress. So basically that's what Chanel is. They are known for their scent, which is Chanel No. 5, and they're known for their 2C logo and such. So you might be wondering, why did I specifically choose Chanel? Chanel was Marilyn Monroe's brand. Chanel No. 5 was the perfume that Marilyn Monroe would actually wear in real life. So I thought, since I want to lean more into her inspiration, or her being inspired by a character that Marilyn Monroe played in a movie, Chanel was her brand. It was a very kind of elegant, classy girl brand, but comfortable in a way. The perfume, I have smelled the perfume. As if you are new to this channel, I'm a perfume collector. I love perfume. And Chanel No. 5 is one that I want to add to my collection. I have smelled it before. It does kind of smell like an old lady. It smells like grandma in a way, but it smells amazing. It's a very classy, very elegant scent, especially for someone to wear in the 50s. So I thought, that's amazing. That's her. Chanel is her. So in like anything that you see her in, despite obviously this art piece, she will be always featured with Chanel bag, hinting at the fact that also like all my characters have their own purses. All of the woman characters do, based off of the brand that they are leaning to, and also based off of the fact that the art style is based off of Bratz. So they kind of lean into like the fashion doll territory. I gave them all fashion bags and such like that. but her nails are done. She has a Chanel bag, a Chanel designer outfit with pearls that she's wearing with a diamond on the pearls. She's wearing these pretty pink heels. She has a diamond dermal in her cheek, if you saw that. And she also is always wearing her diamond earrings. And she's just always has like this like kind of reddish pink lipstick as well. Her hair is blonde, a very, very, very vibrant blonde color. It's more of like a pure blonde, if I would say, like a very, kind of leaning into, like a close to Dorothy's blonde. Dorothy's blonde is like a platinum blonde, but she's like in between Red's blonde, which is a little bit of like a like when you think of blondes, like more of a realistic blonde, I would say, like a darker kind of hair blonde, in between that and Dorothy's platinum blonde. And she has blue eyes, so she's blonde, blue eyes. She has kind of darkish, like purplish skin, but her skin is supposed to be pretty dark. She's supposed to be a dark-skinned woman and such. So that's her and her appearance. And the Chanel is very, very important to her character, showing that, like, all of my characters like luxury things. They're all very, despite, you know, different personalities, and Sugar being more leaning into that traditional ladylike archetype, all of my characters are women. They all are like women. They're all very feminine women. They like nice things. They like luxury brands. And I like to highlight that into them and their character. I think with Sugar, it does make the most sense why she would have luxury brands, because she is a diamond digger. And that's how she would pay for that. The other characters, I'm not too sure. I kind of just give it to them because they look cool. Well, Dorothy, it makes sense, because Dorothy comes from a very rich family, rich and famous family. Red, I honestly am not too sure. I'm still trying to figure out Red and her story, so I'm not going to get into Red and everything like that yet. But I have a grasp onto what I want to do with Red. But honestly, the grasp I have, it makes sense onto how Red could afford this. All of my characters in some sort of way have a way of getting their money and their brands and making themselves look a certain way in public. They're all rocking runway outfits, and especially, like, I think my outfit has to be Red's, but Sugar's outfit is very nice. It's very classy. It's very simple. And it highlights her character very, very well just by looking at her, and such. Alrighty. So, now you guys got the gist of Sugar as a character. She's a 28-year-old woman. She is very ladylike, very soft-spoken, but also, you know, she uses her brains when she wants to. Let me highlight one more fact about her. She is extremely judgmental. This woman is very judgmental. This also goes to show in the comic that I am planning on making. The 8-page is going to be an 8-page comic. It will be a short comic featured on Webtoon Canvas. I will be putting it on Webtoon Canvas, so keep an eye on my socials. So if you're interested in reading this comic in the future for when it comes out or seeing updates for it, please go ahead and follow me on Instagram, because that's where I most post all of my updates on my Instagram story. But yeah, so she will basically get her own comic. And her, like, kind of more of her, like, kind of stuck-up, like, personality, her snobby personality will show a little bit more in that comic. With her, like, all of my characters, like I said, they have, like, their luxury things and such, but none of them are very snobby. And some people might, you know, think that and assume that they would be, but no. With Red rocking Dolce and Gabbana and sometimes Gucci. And then Dorothy, usually always wearing Louis Vuitton or Dior. They are not very snobby girls. Sugar, however, is extremely snobby, extremely snobby. But it's probably because Sugar wasn't really born into this world. There will be more on Sugar and her backstory eventually I will be getting into, but I do know that Sugar was not born into a world of luxury. Hence why she gold digs, and, well, diamond digs. And some people might think, oh, well, you know, if she wasn't born into this world, you know, she would be a little bit more, you know, lenient. No, it doesn't mean anything. She wasn't born into this world like the other girls, and she kind of brought her way into this world, and, you know, she thinks that she's better than everybody else because of it, and that's one of her hugest flaws as a character. She sticks up her nose at people that are below her, which will be highly featured into that comic, where she will stare at people purely because of what they look like, being in her spaces and her nice spaces per se. But it goes to show her internal hatred towards herself, and her classism towards herself entirely, due to where she came from, where her family is at as well. Her family is still in that state, and while she's living it up with Chanel bags and diamonds with her old men. So that goes to show, I want all of my characters to be flawed in some sort of way. They are not perfect whatsoever. None of them are perfect. They're human. They're written to be human. But that's one of her flaws. And I expect her to kind of get hated as well because of that, because, she is, because a lot of fandom spaces like this are very misogynistic. So, I have a character like JT who's literally a murderer and, is a really bad type of murderer. He will murder kids, he doesn't care. But then everybody will be like, oh, well, he's just a small bean, he's a cinema roll. But then people will look at Sugar and be like, oh, she's evil because she's classist. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, they're both kind of, not equally bad, but, Sugar's not really good in any way either, but, JT's worse, because he murders kids, guys. It's kind of... But anyways, going into this. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about Sugar as a character. She's a brand new character. I thought it would be perfect to introduce her first, since I am making a comic with her, and that will be coming out relatively soon, and everything. So... I hope you guys like her. Please tell me in the comments everything that you like about her, what you don't like about her, things about her character and such. And I'm so glad that I got to talk about her with you guys. The next character that I will be talking about, for those who watch the video, I will be putting a poll on my channel for who you want to hear about next. I will put images of the characters as well, so you can vote on who you want to hear about next. But I thought I would choose this time. Alrighty, so if you like videos like this, go ahead and subscribe, and when a new video comes out, hit the bell for a notification, and also, if you want to know that I'm working on a new video, and when a new video is actually coming out as well, you can follow me on Instagram. All the links are provided below. Alrighty, have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.